Okay, it looks like everybody can hear us, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you again for attending. We're getting better and better at these webinars each time we go along. We try to do as many as we can. We'll probably ramp it up and be doing more. We just have so many products that we offer with great options for you guys, and really a lot of products that meet a lot of needs out there. And like I always say in every one of our webinars, is that our goal is to give you a good product at a great price. Okay, so this EIS GSM family of products that we're going to talk about today, some of our competitive advantages to those other products out there are, first and foremost, is our cost. Our products are extremely cost effective. We haven't found any that are less expensive than ours on the market currently, and so they are extremely cost effective. They work really well and they are extremely reliable. We have a lot of them in the field. We've had a lot of feedback from customers, and people really like them just because they work and they're extremely reliable. Third is our web-based software and our user interface. We have cloud-based software, which we'll be showing you, which means you can access any EIS unit anywhere in the field from any location on a smartphone, tablet, or any computer, and you can make changes from anywhere. We also have an app on the Android and iPhone store, which make it extremely easy for you or for your customer to manage and program everything that's going on with our system. So those are some of the competitive advantages we have, and then just our features and functionality and user friendliness really stand out. We also, one of the big things we want to point out, and we sent an email out on this, we do not charge, us personally, Transmitter Solutions does not charge a monthly fee for any of these units that we'll talk about today. The only fee that is charged is a SIM card fee. So that's going to be charged through T-Mobile or AT&T, which are the two providers that we offer. That's the only monthly charge that is charged. We don't charge you anything for our app. We don't charge you anything to use our cloud-based software. Those are both totally free, which is a huge competitive advantage to our product. Many of the competitors are charging monthly to use their services. The only fee that is charged for using our unit is the SIM card from AT&T or T-Mobile. You have two choices when you do that. You can either get the SIM card directly from us, and we charge you for that, or you can go purchase it yourself or have your customer purchase it through AT&T and T-Mobile. Looks like we already have a question Melissa's going to read to us.
Hopefully this mic works. How will the tech support for this device be handled for distributors?
Okay, so the question is, how will the tech support be handled for distributors? All of our tech support is in-house. We recently got a new phone system, and we added a technical support line, which will ring directly to technical support. So I believe it's option 2 on the new phone system will ring, and all of our technical support is handled in-house. And we have really good knowledge of the product and can get it. I mean, usually it's something simple that we can get fixed reasonably fast, but all of that will be handled in-house. Does that answer the question? We'll find out. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to type them into the chat window. We have Melissa who's going to read them, and then I'll do my best to address them. It looks like we have another question. Okay, so someone confirming that our system is the only one that does not charge any monthly fee out of any of the competitors, which is a really, really nice thing for you guys as the installer. We charge you nothing. The only fee is from AT&T or T-Mobile, okay? And we'll go through our cloud-based software and all of those things so you can see it, but also keep in mind there's an app from Android or iPhone that works the same as the cloud-based software we'll talk about today. Some of the other competitive advantages are that we have a great offering for all aspects of an installation with these GSM products. We are not just offering telephone entry. We'll show that today. We're going to offer you a card reader that's GSM, a keypad that's GSM. We have a bunch of offerings in this GSM family because we understand that it's not always a telephone entry that's needed when you need GSM devices. So we'll talk about that a little bit today, and we'll go through the different options that we have. Again, feel free to ask questions. One thing to note is that right now we are offering $50 off a purchase of any EIS unit that we sell, or 2 months of airtime from AT&T or T-Mobile. We would provide the SIM card and you would get 2 months of free airtime. We would pay for your airtime through those companies for 2 months, or $50 off the EIS, any of our EIS products on your order. So keep that in mind as we talk today that we've got a pretty good discount going on. And we'll go through all the features and functionalities, all of that here today. We'll be about 30 minutes. Try to get you in and out so you can get back to work. but please stop me and let me know any questions you have. I'm going to go ahead and jump over to our interactive board here so we can talk about the different products that we have. As you guys know, all of our products and everything we show in our webinars you can find at transmittersolutions.com by selecting our products. I'll quickly give a little spot here. We're coming to Atlanta to do a training on the 19th of October. We'll be in Norcross. I'll scroll across here. You'll be able to see. You can register for it. This is where we go into a little bit more in-depth training on some of our products, but you can see here, October 19th, 10 to noon in Norcross, Georgia. We will be there doing a training. So if anybody's close, we'd love to have you there. It's a free training and some good information shared. So I'm going to click on our products, and I'm going to click on EIS GSM Solutions. This is a quick overview, and you can see all of the different options that we have when it comes to GSM. Every one of these devices that you see here is operated with a SIM card, okay? And all of these devices that you see here are managed and programmed through our cloud-based software. Looks like we have another question.
First question is if we have a SIM card included, which I mentioned in the comments that we do. Sarah's asking, what will be the cost of the SIM card?
So that's a good question, Sarah. We don't charge anything for the actual physical SIM card. If you get it through us, all we charge is the airtime, and we don't discuss pricing on our webinars, unfortunately. Well, fortunately, but unfortunately, because we never know who's on here. We would never want an end user to have somehow logged on and talk about pricing. So we don't discuss pricing online. I can tell you it's very affordable, and we can charge monthly or yearly. It's up to you. But I would reach out to your sales rep, or Melissa will take down your information and we'll get back to you directly with a price. Again, all of these are GSM, so they all operate with a SIM card, T-Mobile or AT&T, and they all have different functionalities and features which allow for different usages with different applications. And we've priced them all to where we feel like a lot of our competition, they have great products, but you have to spend a lot of money on the one or two products that they offer, maybe on a job that doesn't need 90% of the features that that product has. So you go out and you buy a very expensive telephone entry from any of the competitors, and it can do a million things, but all your customer wants to be able to do is call and open the gate from their phone, or maybe call and use a keypad. We offer a bunch of different options to where you can say, hey, look, you can do the EIS Entry R, this one in the middle, or you can do the EIS Entry 1. What do you want to accomplish? And that allows you guys to say, Transmitter Solutions has a bunch of different pricing options with the different products that they have to be able to confidently sell one that meets the need of what your customer wants, and you're not selling them a bunch of fluff, okay? So that's what we really focus on. A couple quick things. I'm going to talk first about anything that is not telephone entry related in our GSM product line, and then we'll get into the telephone entries. The first product that we have is the EIS Lock. This is a GSM-based keypad. So the applications for this would be if you have somewhere that's rural, where they want to be able to manage and track who's coming and going, and they have no network, no internet, very little of anything out where they're going to put this, but they want to say, I want a keypad to manage and track and keep a report of who's coming and going. This is going to be your option. It's 4-digit, 1,000 pins, and it's programmed and managed through our app or through our cloud-based software. And this is what they can use. So they're going to stick it out in the middle of a field, or there's maybe a gate that's on a farm or something, or wherever it is where they just can't get network. They put this out there, they program all the codes in, they can see who's coming and going, when they're coming and going, they can open and close their gate with the app on their phone. All of that is allowed through this keypad. Another question.
Is there an option to trigger from web location or desktop, not just the mobile app?
That's a really good question. So currently, the way our software works is through the cloud-based software, which I'm going to show you online. There is not a way to trigger open and close the gate. That is changing. We are adding that to where through the software on the computer, the cloud-based software, you will be able to trigger open and close the gate, okay? Right now, the way to do it is through our app. You can open and close it through the app, but we are adding that to the cloud-based software. Really good question. That's something that we're going to be adding very, very soon. I don't have an exact time, but it's not hard for our engineers to do. and it is on their list. So that will be added to cloud-based software. Okay, so this is the EIS Lock, a great keypad and great for specific applications where they want to be able to really manage who's coming and going, and they might not have any network or any network setup or internet where they could use a IoT device, Internet of Things device, like the track pin gate keypad, for instance. Okay, we'll scroll here down to the bottom where you can see our EIS Entry CR and our EIS MS. I'll click on the EIS MS. The EIS MS stands for mobile switch. This is just a GSM receiver. So this makes it so that your customers, all they want to be able to do is open and close their gate with their phone. This is the unit for it, okay? This allows them to save up to 100 authorized users where they can say 100 people can have their phones and call or text this unit, and it will trigger the gate. Again, this is managed and programmed all through our web-based software. It makes it really easy and clear because any device you purchase through us is programmed the exact same way through our web-based software. It's the exact same software, so once you learn the software, you could buy an EIS Entry 1000 one time and then EIS MS another time, and you know the software, so you know how to go in and program it. And we'll go over that here in just a second. So this is simply a receiver that allows your customers to open the gate or close the gate from their phone, okay? And again, all of these are options because we understand that not every customer needs a million different options on their system, and so we want to give you different options at different price points to help you as the installer. This is the EIS card reader. The EIS card reader works similar to the EIS Lock and the EIS MS. This allows your customer, if they have somewhere where they want to be able to manage and track who's coming and going with cards or fobs, they can buy this system. The card reader is not included, but it has all the hookups inside, so you can put whatever 26-bit Wiegand card reader you want on this system, and then through the web-based software you can manage, track, program, open, close, all that stuff through the app on your phone or through our cloud-based software, okay? So the three options that we have for devices that are not telephone entry are the EIS MS, which is the receiver, the EIS CR, which is the card reader, and the EIS Lock, which is the keypad. All of those great options for specific applications. Any questions on any of those? Okay. Now let's jump into our telephone entry units. I'll start at the base unit and work my way up to our most complex and highest memory. The first one is our EIS Entry R, or just the EIS R. This unit is just a unit for calling. So they walk up, you can see the call button on the bottom right. They'd push that, it's going to call somebody, that person answers, and they can let them in the gate. This system, and all of our systems except for the LCD units, which we'll talk about here later, will roll up to 5 people. So let's say it calls me, I'm the first, they push the button, it calls me, I don't answer, it will roll and can call my wife, then it can call, you know, whoever else you wanted to call, up to 5 people it will call. Any of those people will answer, press 1-1, gate opens, okay? So this is the base unit here when all your customer needs to do is get calls and be able to open their gate with calls, okay? They can still trigger, open, and close the gate through the app on their phone with this unit. All of those allow that. And all of this is programmed through the EISware, which I'll show you here in just a minute, which is our cloud-based software. The EIS Entry 1, this is our most popular selling unit. The difference here is this has a paper display, which you can see here, the part that says Transmitter Solutions. It has the call button, which will call up to 5 people, and it has a keypad. One of the big differences between us and some of our competitors, which is really nice, is that our keypad is programmed through the app or cloud-based software. It is not a standalone keypad. It is built into our system and programmed through our software. So you can actually see who's using the keypad, when they use the keypad, all of that through our reporting system. And that is an extremely nice feature because people don't want to have to come out and program the keypad separately from everything else. Ours is built right in and works through our software. We have another question.
Is the bridge compatible with the EIS units?
Is the bridge compatible with the EIS units? The bridge is compatible with anything that is Wiegand, and our devices starting at the EIS 1, the EIS 2, the EIS 4, the EIS 40, and the EIS LCD. Let me say that again, the EIS 1, the EIS 2, the EIS 4, the 40, and the LCD units all have Wiegand outputs. So you can run a card reader to them or a receiver to them. or a long-range reader to them, and you can manage and track everyone who's coming and going. Because it has the Wiegand, yes, the bridge is compatible. Okay, the bridge will work. The bridge will work with any Wiegand device. Okay, so this will do PIN codes that are programmed through the cloud, up to 5 people called with the one call button, so it will roll up to 5 people. It has an event log where you can track who's coming and going, paper display, and then it has 2 Wiegand inputs, so you can tie in 2 card readers, long-range reader and a card reader, Wiegand receiver to track transmitters, and all of those devices are trackable and manageable through our cloud-based software. Okay, that's the EIS Entry 1. The EIS Entry 2 is the exact same thing as the EIS Entry 1. The only difference is you have 2 call buttons now. So you can have House 1, House 2. Each one of those buttons will roll up to 5 different people. Same programming, same functionality, event log, all of the Wiegand inputs. One of the big competitive advantages we have as well is we have the Wiegand. The Wiegand allows you to monitor and track everybody who's coming and going to make it a full access control system. So a good application would be a front gate in an apartment complex. You put one of our bigger units on it, you can put a Wiegand receiver in it, and now you can track transmitters, who's coming and going at that gate. We have another question.
The keypad will need to be hardwired to the machine. Is that right?
Explain that a little bit more. Which keypad? I'm sorry. The keypad that is built into our telephone entry, the one that you see here, that's all pre-wired obviously, and that's built right into the mold of the housing. But explain your question a little bit more about the keypad being wired right in. Okay, so that's the EIS Entry 2. The EIS Entry 4, I'm not going to click on it. It's the exact same thing as the EIS Entry 1 and the EIS Entry 2. It will just call up to 4 people. Each button will roll up to 5 people called. The EIS Entry 40 is a little bit different. The EIS Entry 40 has a paper display. There is no call button because the numbers are dialed with the keypad. Okay. Still have the keypad functionality, but also calling the apartments. It will hold up to 40 apartments. Each apartment will call 2 people now. So of those 40 apartments, if I'm apartment 100, it will call me, and if I don't answer, it will call my wife. So the EIS 1, the EIS 2, the EIS 4, each of those will roll up to 5 people each. The EIS 40 will roll up to 2 people per apartment, and this one has a paper display for 40 apartment complexes. This one also has Wiegand, 2 relays. All of our units have 2 relays, 2 Wiegand, all of that same information. Same software, same ability to track and manage everybody who's coming and going. That's the EIS 40. Okay, our second most popular seller is the EIS LCD unit, which we have here. This is our commercial unit. We have it available in 2 different memory sizes, 200 apartments and 1,000 apartments. Okay, so it'll just be called for part number purposes or ordering purposes, the EIS Entry LCD 200, the EIS Entry LCD 1000, 200 apartments, 1,000 apartments. On this one, you have a 4-line display, which you can scroll through. You can quickly call the apartment complex by directly dialing into the keypad, or you can scroll, select, and call. 2 relays, 2 Wiegand, same exact software, so you can manage and track everybody who's coming and going. And this one, every apartment will call up to 2 people. Again, just like the 40, if the Coford residence is there, it would call myself, and if I don't answer, my wife. So there's a lot of cohesiveness going into all of these products. We wanted to make it easy, so when you get into purchasing the EIS family product line, once you learn the software, you understand it, you know it, you're confident with it, then it's just a matter of remembering the features that we've gone over and saying, you know what, I'm going to put this on a residence. They don't need the EIS LCD 200. They don't even need the EIS Entry 1 because they don't want a keypad. They just want to call, so we'll do the EIS Entry R. Or I'm putting this on a little 5-unit apartment complex. Let's do the EIS 40. Whatever it is, you now have the application, and now you can just add it to your list of devices, which I'll show you here in a minute, and manage it through the software. Another question.
Are the units capable of toggle mode for the gate to stay open?
Yes, and I haven't gone into detail about the functionality and features of the relays or the Wiegand or any of that. That's what we're going to get into in the software, but yes, the relays are configurable to latch or toggle, whichever terminology you like to use, or to do timed open or close. Another question, and we'll get into that more here in just a minute.
Another question that I'll go ahead and answer, because I am the graphic designer over here. It says, how was the paper display created? I can provide you with a template that tells you exactly what size to cut that down and where to place your logos. Or if you provide us with the text or logo, we can print it here on a see-through paper, which is called vellum, and ship it out with your unit.
Good. And I believe at one point we talked about, we haven't done it yet, it's probably easier for Melissa just to make it for you, but we can put a template on our website that allows you to, can we do that, Melissa? She says we can. So we're going to load the template onto our website where you can go in and download our template. It will be under downloads on the specific ICE unit, and then it will print off the exact size that you need. Okay? Okay, so those are all of the options that we have. A lot of really good options. Like I said, the best part about all of this, what you're looking at, is that you can manage it all from anywhere, okay, for free. We don't charge you. That's a big thing I want to make sure I'm getting across here. You can manage all of these devices for free from anywhere. The website you can see here is iceware.com, EISWARE.com. And Melissa will actually type that into the window there so you guys can see it and have a link to it. The first thing it will ask you to do when you go to iceware.com is to create a username and password. That will set you up with an account. I've obviously done that already. I am now at the home screen of iceware.com. That's what I'm looking at. A really good part about this is that you can see I currently have a system called EIS LCD Desk. This is just a unit here in my office that's on my desk. I can add, with this plus sign, as many units as I want to my account. So I could have 100 units here on my account, okay? And that way when a customer calls me, hey Quinn, I wanted to add, I'm on vacation, but could you add this part number for my customer, or this user to the intercom for me, for my customer? Yeah, sure. I could be at my house, I could be on the road, I could be wherever, and I can come in here and I can click on EIS LCD Desk. It's going to load my device. It's going to show me everything that's current in that device, and I can come in here and add whatever I want and send it down to the device from anywhere. This is a feature that as an installer should really be getting you excited, because you don't have to drive to the unit, you don't have to plug anything into the unit, nothing. We don't charge for it, it's totally free. Or you could have your phone and download iceware-web, EISWARE-web onto your Android or iPhone, and you can manage all of it through there. Any device that you've installed, anywhere at any time. Okay, and we have another question.
I noticed the units come with a USB adapter cable. Is this an option to direct connect for programming, or if there is no SIMS or SSL?
Okay, so there is a USB input on the board. That's a good question. That was used a lot when we first released these, before we had the web-based software available. This was 5 years ago. Well, the web-based software has been out about 2 years. That is an option. So one thing you guys need to understand is that when you purchase a SIM card, if you don't get the SIM card from us, when you purchase a SIM card, or if your customer purchases a SIM card, they need 3 things on that SIM card. And this is important because almost all the tech support calls we take are SIM card related. They need voice, obviously. They need text messaging, if they want to be able to text the unit to open or close. And they need the smallest data plan that their carrier provides. Okay, voice, text, and the smallest data plan that the carrier provides. Data is what allows us to use our server here, what we're looking at. Now, if they don't buy data, the data plan, you won't be able to connect to the server. And I'm telling you, data adds almost nothing to the plan a month. It's very inexpensive, and we use so little, we're not going to go over their data plan budget. But if they don't purchase data, you can direct connect to it and program it directly, okay? So that is an option. We try to steer people away from it because it's just it's a headache. Once you've done this way, it's so much easier than the direct connect. But you can do the direct connect in case of emergencies, or you need to get off the job and their SIM card, they bought the wrong SIM card or something like that, okay? So now I'm in my unit. I'm in the EIS LCD that's on my desk. You can see all the information here. One of the great things about our product is you don't have to receive any data to the unit, okay? As soon as I click on the unit, so I'll go back again to my home screen. As soon as I click on the unit, everything I see is what is currently in the unit. This means you don't have to worry about your customers overriding information or not receiving before they send, all of those big stresses. We don't have to do that with our unit because all of it is updated automatically as soon as you open the window. So this is all current stuff. You can see there's not even a button to click receive, so I don't need to worry about that. The first button you're going to see, and again, we're talking about the EIS LCD software right now. It may look a tiny bit different for the EIS 1 because there's not going to be 200 slots or 1,000 slots. I can't remember how much my memory is on this. There's not going to be 200 slots on the EIS Entry 1. There'll be one slot with 5 different options. So what I can do here is I can come in and I can say, okay, the apartment number, I can change that apartment number to whatever I want. I can put a phone number in. I'm going to put myself in, 915-3686. By the way, that is my cell number. Please don't text me late at night or send me weird stuff. Okay, then I'm going to put Quinn, and I'm already in there one time. Quinn Coford. I'm going to trigger, whenever I let somebody in, it's on output 1. Delay between calls is 25 seconds. I'm going to press the check mark, and now you can see I've been saved, and this little window right here is going to pop up. This is the send window. You do need to send information down to the device once you've updated, but I can go through and make as many updates as I want to the system and then send it. So I'd added myself. You can turn up or down the microphone level and the speaker level right from our software. You can do everything right from here. Pin access is where you're going to save pin codes. This is also where you're going to save Wiegand numbers, so Wiegand card numbers, Wiegand transmitter numbers. All of that is saved in here in the pin code section. Okay, you can differentiate if you want certain ones to only open relay 1 and certain ones to only open relay 2, or if you click joint, everything you put in here will open the relay specified. Okay, so this is where you're going to save pin codes, Wiegand numbers, all of that stuff here in the software. And if you click notify, it will notify the administrators of the account every time this device is used on the system. Okay? Caller ID. Caller ID allows you to put numbers in here that are allowed to call the unit and trigger the gate. So Mark's desk phone and Mark's iPhone are the only 2 phones that if he calls the SIM card, if he calls the EIS unit, it will trigger the gate. If I was to try to call it and my number's not on this list, it won't work. You can also change this to allow anybody that calls. Caller ID is always on. Anybody that calls is allowed to use that gate, but we've specified it to caller IDs for specific users. Outputs, this goes back to the question we were asked earlier. This is where you can change between a latching or toggle and a timed or disabled. So you can set the time to 5 seconds, or you can select latching, and that will hold the gate or close the gate depending on what status it currently is. You can change the relay from normally open to normally closed, depending on what you need. That's all done in the output section. Do we have another question? Okay, so the question was asked if video is an option. We'll get to that here in just a minute. Digital interface. This is where you can change the Wiegand settings. Honestly, you'll never need to worry about this because they auto-update, so don't worry too much about that. Inputs, this is where you can change the system from, it comes default normal mode, which means I'm not going to connect any Wiegand devices to this. But if you are going to connect Wiegand devices, all you'll do is simply come in and change it from normal to Wiegand. That's where you can do that. This also brings us to a new feature that we're adding to the system that you will be interested in. In this section, you will be able to connect our EIS units through the normally closed or normally open and ground inputs, either input 1 or input 2, to the gate operator's status indicator, or you can put on your own position indicator that will tell your customer if the gate is opened or closed. And then it will alert them with a text message. We've been asked about this, and so we now have the option where you can come in and wire it up, set the SMS settings to alert your customer if the gate's open or closed, and that will now be an option. We will have drawings and diagrams and manual all written up for this in the coming weeks, but that is already built in here, just waiting for the manual to come. So please keep that in mind. You'll now be able to do that with The ICE units and anything out in the field as well will still work with this as well. So we'll have that coming. We have another question.
Is there a way to check relay status on the desktop?
That right now is kind of in the background. We're not working on that right now, but it will be. Anything that goes in the app eventually goes in the web software that we're looking at. So yeah, it will be there, but it will come through as a text message also to administrators' phones. So it'll be real time of what's going on. You won't have to log in to see, but yeah, that will be coming. Temporary PIN codes. This is where you can have temporary PIN codes that say, okay, I want PIN code, let's just make one up, 1, 2, 3, 4, to work 5 times, and this is going to be Quinns Pin. After the 5th time using it, this PIN code will not work. Coming out also soon, again, I'm telling you about a lot of soon things, but I think it's because we've got asked a lot of questions. I want you to let you know we're working on them. They're right around the corner, is a valid from and a valid to date. So it will not be a counter. It will say Quinns Pin is allowed in from October 5th to October 6th. We've got a lot of people asking us saying that they would like that better, and we've listened and we're going to change that. So it will be a valid from and a valid to date on the PIN code, okay, and that's coming soon. Okay, sorry, we just expanded a little bit so you can see it better. Okay, while we're here, just so you know, this export and import button are if you have multiple ICE units on a property and they want all of them to be configured the same way, you can configure one, export that configuration, and import it into the other unit to match it up identically. It's just a nice feature. Will save you time. Okay, administration, this is where you can come in and say, I want the phone number 801-915-3686, user Quinn. I want Quinn to get updates anytime input 1 is triggered, input 2, or if there's a periodic test. Sorry, now it's big, I can't scroll over. We're going to scroll back down to small because, okay, there we go. Periodic test, low credit alert. Administrators are the people who are going to get the alerts on their cell phones that something has changed, okay, to the unit. So that's a nice feature if you have a department manager or somebody who wants to know what's going on. The other great option that we have is the timer. We have 2 timers available, one for output 1, one for relay 1, one for relay 2. That you can enable. You can do day. If you do day, every day of the week will obey the time that you've set. You can do intervals, so you could say, I want this to open up at 8 a.m. and close at 10 a.m. and click the check mark, and you can see it will say, be open for 2 hours, and then say, I want it to open again at 1, it's military time, and close, okay, 2-hour interval, change. You can set that, and now it's going to obey that schedule. Whoops, I accidentally clicked delete instead of save. It's going to save that schedule. It's going to do that schedule every day, or you can do specific days, okay? So if I change this to week, because every day is going to be different, you can click week and change that the way you want it for both output 1 and output 2, okay? You can trigger it here specifically. And this is important, and this is a new feature we've added, and this is important to listen to. If you select slave mode for your timer, slave mode means that if you have the timer scheduled to open the gate at 8 a.m. and close the gate at 5 p.m., that gate will open at 8 a.m. Now, if at any point between that 8 to 5 period that the gate's supposed to be open, someone overrides it by either closing the gate from their app, or they call the gate to close it, or they type in a PIN code to close it. If it is ever overrode, if that's the right way to say that, overridden, something, you guys know what I mean, then it will stay closed. It will not open back up. We want to give you the ability through slave mode to override that and keep it that way, okay? If you select master mode, let's say you select master mode and the gate is same scenario, gate's told to open at 8 a.m. and told to close at 5 p.m., and any time between that, let's say I log into my app and I close the gate with my app, the gate will automatically reopen because we're telling this timer to override any command that it's being given. So it will close for a time and then boom, it will open back up. Master mode will override anything, okay? Now, output precondition, this means if I set, let's go back to day. If I set from 8 to 10 that my transmitters, let's say my PIN codes or my Wiegand transmitters or my Wiegand cards will only work during this time, 8 to 10. So we've put an option in there where you can make it so that the credentials you're using, transmitters, cards, fobs, PIN codes, will only work during a certain time. So a good application might be, okay, on output 1, relay 1, I'm going to use the output precondition where I only want cards to work from 8 to 10. But I want the gate to be held open every other day, so I can put that on output 2. But just a couple nice options in the timer that give you the ability to restrict credential usage, to set a different timer for slave mode if you want it to be overrode, or for master mode. And then also what we've added, it is added in the firmware, and all of your devices will be able to do it as soon as the web software has been updated, and the app, which will be very soon, is a holiday schedule. We've added a holiday schedule where you can go in and set specific days to do different things than the normal timer that you have set up. So we've got a lot of different things in this software. Again, we sell you what we think is used most. Not a lot of fluff, what people actually use, and it's very easy to manage and use here in this web-based software, as well as the app, okay? Again, iSwear-web for Android or iPhone, okay? A couple things that I wanted to mention. Remember, we are coming out where you could be able to monitor the position of the gate and be alerted to that. The holiday schedule, and the last thing is video. We've got a lot of requests for video. In our show in Atlanta that we're doing, we are unveiling this, our video integration. We are going to have 2 stages to our video integration, and this is important to listen to because it's exciting. We're offering, our first release is more of a commercial version, and our second release is more of a residential version. The first release will be released on the 19th of this month. And the way that it works, and this is going to be very specific, is we've partnered with another company to where you will use a hike vision camera that we will sell, okay? Hike vision camera that we will sell that has to be hardwired back to the network, okay? But the features that you will get with this is that if I am using the EIS LCD 200 and I scroll down and call let's say someone comes to the apartment, a visitor, and they call me. My phone, my personal phone, I'm not an administrator, I'm just a tenant at the apartment, will pop up on the screen the live video of whoever is at the gate. And then I have 2 buttons, unlock or decline on my screen. But I can see and talk to them right there through the app on my phone that will automatically populate on my phone. So let's say Melissa is a tenant as well, and I pull up to the box and I dial Melissa. Melissa's phone's going to ring, but instead of seeing an incoming call, well, she will see an incoming call, but it'll look a little different. She'll click accept. Live video is going to pop up. She'll be able to talk to whoever it is and then be able to let them in from that app. We're excited about that because it's a lot different than a lot of people are offering. Okay, it's more of a commercial version. We've tested it. It works great. It's a great option. There is a monthly fee for that, okay, because as soon as video gets incorporated and all the features we're giving these apartments that they'll be able to use now, there's a fee. It's very, very small, but it's a fee, and we'll have those prices out to you guys soon. But it's a really good option for video. It's a really, really cool option where you can say, hey, look, put this EIS telephone entry, put this camera on it, and now every one of your tenants can see who's coming and going when they're called directly. The administrator will also get a desktop app where if someone calls the apartment manager, it pops up on their computer and they can see him and talk to him. So it's very cool. More information for that to come, but we're unveiling it in Atlanta on the 19th, and then we'll unveil it to everybody else, and it's going to be extremely cool. The second phase, which is still, I mean, not a long ways out, but it's not being unveiled yet, is video for end users, private residential people, where we'll have a small camera, an external camera. Right now, that's what we're looking at, where that will be wired directly into or have a different SIM card for, so you don't have to run any hardwire line. So those are the two options that we have. That's as much update as I can give you right now, but do know that it's coming. And all ICE units, most ICE units in the field will be able to be updated with this system. So it's not anything new from here on out. We'll be able to update with cameras, any of the ones that have been out there. Okay? Any questions on any of that? Like I said, we have a great promotion going on right now. Any ICE unit purchased, you can choose one of two discounts, $50 off, or 2 months of airtime for free. And I'll always remind you guys that we charge nothing for our web-based software for our app. The only fees paid are to AT&T or T-Mobile. Any questions?
Our SIM card is reading. Our SIM card is free. They can activate it for $30 a month. Is that unlimited?
Yeah, so our SIM card is free. You can activate it for the price typed in. I'm not allowed to say it online. You can activate it from us for the price typed in, and that's unlimited. Yeah, it doesn't increase with usage, which is another big benefit to us. That amount you pay is the amount you pay regardless of how often you use it. Any other questions? Was this helpful? Hopefully this was helpful. You guys can see we've really done a lot to make this user-friendly and help you guys. We have another question.
He says, I know it's a long shot. I've been putting these units at storage facilities. A question of, can I set a PIN to work for 30 days, then deactivate after the set amount of days?
So yeah, that's what I was talking about a little earlier. Right now, it's a counter. If I'm just going to get there for you so you can see it. Right now, it's a counter for temporary PIN codes, but you can set this probably in our next firmware update, which is soon. You'll be able to set this to a valid from and a valid to date. So it will expire after, in your case, 30 days. Yes, that feature is coming. Good question.
Does it work in the Caribbean Islands?
The question was, does it work in the Caribbean Islands? We are compatible with AT&T and T-Mobile. I know like in Canada, I don't know if it's AT&T or T-Mobile, it's called Rogers, and we work with that. So if you have AT&T or T-Mobile accessible down there, then yeah, it will work. Any other questions? Okay, hopefully this was helpful. You see our competitive advantages. Again, our prices are really good, so call your sales reps for those prices. Take advantage of the discounts we have. Melissa and I will stick around, so feel free to ask any questions. But that's officially the end of the webinar, but please feel free to ask any questions. I will be around here. Thank you.